One of the options you have available to you in the computer game is to play a board game side by side with the computer game. So I'm going to choose Oklahoma City and Golden State here from, let's see, 2018-19. Click on the game in the schedule and start it up as normal, except instead of using one of the options up above here, use the board game option. You can check either of these, doesn't really matter. I would leave it as human. Click OK, and you'll see a different screen that's set up to take stats. So you can play the game while taking stats here, and there's a dice roll option, a clock management option, and everything else that you need to play the game. So let's see, let's just try this out here a little bit. Let's say we're going ahead, start the game. So on the opening jump, there's no runoff on the clock as per game rules. So uncheck the time tie-in here up at the top and just go ahead and click the roll dice button. That determines who has possession of the ball. And then after that, you can recheck this, and the ensuing play, which is a setup play, will go ahead and mark the clock down an appropriate value, and the shot clock as well. Again, you can turn that off and on right there, the tie in between the two. If you decide you just need to run off 5 seconds, you can just click on the clock without clicking the dice roller. Keeping track of the stats is fairly straightforward. We just have the visiting team up in top in red, the visitors down below. If a player is active, his button here on the left will be in red. So if you would like to take him out of the game, you can simply click him again and then go ahead and select one of the others as a replacement. So maybe we want to put in Felton for Ferguson here. Oh, by the way, if you want to turn them all on, you can just simply click on that button, and that will go ahead and enable all of the players. Alright, likewise you can turn them all off. So there's some different options there. Once you do that, however, you may have noticed that it no longer selects the 5 starters or the 5 people who were in the game. So you can do that manually, however. So turning them on and off. So as we go along, maybe Westbrook sank a 2-pointer that he missed. Notice he now has 2 points in the game, and Oklahoma City has 2 points on their score sheet. Let's see, Ferguson, maybe he had a few free throws here. He now has 3 points, so on and so forth. Steph Curry, of course, hits 5 3-pointers without missing. As per usual. Klay Thompson maybe had a steal. Kevin Durant maybe had a couple of blocks, so on and so forth. Alright, when you're at a certain point that you'd like to go ahead and save this, just click on the save button. And then there's a generate box score button here up at the top too. So I click on the box score and I can see that Curry was 5 for 5 for 15 points. Durant had his 2 blocks. Thompson had his steal. Westbrook was 1 for 2 for 2 points. And Ferguson hit 3 of his 4 free throws. Alright, now by the way, when you get to this, it would be a good idea just to select yes. Alright, to compile the game, you need to go ahead and go into the stats module. Now, this box score that pops up was a game that had already been played. So now what I'm going to do is go ahead and open a game stat file. And at first glance, you can see that the game didn't show up. And that's because board game files are saved as XGM files. It doesn't matter if they've been completed or if they're still in progress. By the way, you can always resume the game later on if you'd like to, if you can't complete it in one sitting. But they have a file extension of XGM, and the computer by default is looking for XGS extensions. So you need to drop this down and go to XGM and then Oklahoma City and Golden State will show up. Double click on this and you'll see our final score of 15-5. Steph Curry with his 5 for 5 on 3-pointers. And everybody else looks intact too. Alright, if you're satisfied with the game and it is complete, from this tool option you can go ahead and compile the game. Now, because this is a board game, it doesn't go through the same process that it does with others. It'll go ahead and take these, but it's not going to put in a time amount, as you can see under minutes played. Unless somebody picked up at least one stat, they will go in as did not play. So that's why there's so many DNPs in the minutes column. Go ahead and click OK. Compile stats. And now we should be able to see that game appearing in the standings here. So Golden State won and Oklahoma City lost. Alright. Okay, now that apparently was the first game that they had played, which is a good thing. It'll be a little easier to see. So let's go down to Golden State. And these are the stats here. Steph Curry played one game. 5 for 5 on his 3-pointers, etc. So here's the 2 blocks by Kevin Durant. Now, if we go ahead and try to open this file again, it still isn't going to show up because it's renamed with a new extension of compiled game stat files. So now it's an XGC. And if we open that up, sure enough, there it is. Oklahoma City at Golden State. So it'll open up and then pop up a box score for you.